Why did God put the tree in the garden? I was asked this question by one of our eighth graders a few days ago, and it's a question that's good to struggle with. Why did God put a tree in the garden? And why didn't he just make Adam and Eve, make it so they would follow him for sure and not give them that temptation there in the garden? Why wouldn't he have just done that? And then there wouldn't have been a chance they fell and they would have been able to get to heaven. And they could have still freely chosen to follow him without having that tree. So why was that tree there in the first place? I was thinking about the answer to this question and kind of talking out loud as I was giving it to him. And there's some thoughts that I've had about that very question. One of them is why this command seems a little arbitrary. Some commands that we have make sense. You have to just think about rules growing up. Some rules that kids have are because it's bad if they don't touch the burning stove. And that's a good rule, but it has a natural consequence. If the kid touches the burning stove, now they're burnt, and that hurts a lot. So there's rules like that, and those make a lot of sense. It would make sense God gives us those kind of rules. But, there's other things we do to please our parents as kids as well. Imagine it's your parents' anniversary and you do something special for them. And, you get them the flowers that they like. You take them to the restaurant that they like to go for dinner. You get them presents of things they'll like. Now, why do they like this restaurant and not that restaurant? Well, is it arbitrary? Well, kind of, but it's what they like. So you take them there because you love them and it gives you joy to give them something they like. Why roses and not carnations? Well, it's what they like. Is it arbitrary? Yes, but it's what they like, and that gives you joy in doing that. And so there's other things we do to give joy to the person that we love, and I think the tree of life falls under the tree of death. Falls under that category. To know that this is God's will, and could God have chosen another command to give them? Yes. Was this one a little bit arbitrary? Well, yeah. He could have done anything in order to tell them to be obedient to him. But the challenge was to find obedience to his will. And in doing so, he was actually inviting them to a greater holiness. He was inviting them to a greater love, a greater joy than they would have been able to have otherwise, because they were going to find joy in his will. So why the tree in the garden? Well, God is ultimately wise, and we'll find out the full reason when we get to eternal life. But I think it was an invitation to greater holiness, an invitation to find joy in loving him for who he is. God bless you all.